Another day, another vlog. What's going on, everybody? My name is DeLandre, and I'm a local DP based in Orlando, Florida. Now, for this job, I got hired by a local church that was about 10 minutes from my house. I'm just going to be conducting 6 interviews, and I'm going to be recording the worship service. And for this job, it's pretty much simple. I got all my gear packed up right here on this wagon. The wagon's okay. I mean, once I put all my light stands and all my lights, it does get really heavy. It does get hard to maneuver. But if you don't know, I do a lot of events, so I'm not always bringing all this gear. It's typically just my camera bag and literally just maybe a tripod, and that's it. So I'm considering about getting the actual camera card, but I don't know. Okay, so this is the sanctuary. This is the room that I'm going to be using. I'm thinking about setting up the on-the-fly interview right here. I like the piano. There's a window right there. I might open it, I might not. They told me I'm allowed to turn off all these house lights. So I'm going to be able to shut off all these house lights so I can have more controlled lighting. So I only have about 30 minutes to do this, so I'm gonna hurry up, set up all my lights, all my gear, and then I'm gonna pick up and show you guys what I come up with. And they also gave me a backdrop to use, but it's all black. Probably not gonna use that. Don't think I wanna use that. Kinda like the piano better. So I'm gonna pick up from there. Now, one thing I do want to mention is this job was initially a free job. I had reached out to this church wanting to just expand my portfolio and just add a church event to my highlight reel. So I wasn't expecting any form of payment at all. But in the end, they ended up liking my work so much, and they liked my work ethic and just who I was as a person so much that they actually end up paying me for my services. So that just goes to show, if you show up on time and you work hard, you'll get paid for your services. What I'm having right now is trying to figure out where I want to position it. You can see right here, it's just kind of plain. It's just a black wall. It doesn't really look too pleasing. Then I tried switching it over here with the piano. And even with the piano like this, I don't know if I like that. There's just a bunch of wires just hanging everywhere. And it just, I don't know. But they gave me a backdrop. So honestly, I'm probably just gonna have to use that backdrop if this doesn't work out. But I'm not sure yet. So I had to improvise. I didn't like anything in this room. So I actually was able to just get a chair. I got a light for a practical, and then I wanted a plant just to add it. And I'm liking this setup so far. I got the key light right here, the backdrop right there. I'm gonna quickly set up because I'm running on 15 minutes left to set everything up. So I'm in a rush, man. So I'm gonna pick up from there. Okay, so really quick because the service is starting. This is what I got going. I got the Nanlite 150B bicolor at 2800 kelvins, 100% blast against this wall. There was too much light spilling, so I needed some negative fill. So I added some negative fill on the right side of the person's face, which is a little practical light right there with a plant. I got the Aperture 300D as my main key light at about 10%. And then I got an Amran tube light just to fill a little bit more of the shadows right here. And this is quickly, so I gotta get in there. This is how the frame looks. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks really, really good. So I'm gonna get going because they're starting the worship service and I gotta get in there and start filming. So I'll catch you then. Right now as the worship is going, I had 24 to 70 what I was using, but now the pastor is preaching. So I'm gonna switch over to the 85 just so I'm not in anybody's way. Since I just don't want to block anybody's view, so 85's going on. All right, so now interview time. The congregation is done. I just put on the 35 for the interviews. I'm going to use a boom pole and boom it over. I'm not going to use lavaliers because I'm about to lavalier up 6 different people. And I don't feel like taking out the lavaliers 6 times. So I'm just going to boom it over. I'm going to boom it probably from right here and just boom it down and just do it like that. If I had a sound person or if I had someone who can hold it up for me while I can monitor the audio, I would do that. But I'm not going to do this with the lavaliers. I think I'm going to add one more light. I brought my Amaran. Probably going to blast it over there just so I can fill up more of this because it looks like a black hole over there. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm gonna get it going and I'm going to pick up from there. Now, if you never really worked with churches before, they're very, very fast paced. So I literally had a deadline to do everything. I barely had any time to set up audio. I barely had any time to check my framing, to check my lighting. It was just a rush, rush, rush. And I don't really like that all the time. It can get very, very stressful, but it's part of the game. And honestly, for the time that I had, I really do think the final image came out amazing. And I'm gonna show you guys how it looked in this video.
Real Life Church is that we grow Christians, and our motto is we love God, love people, and we love life. But the goal is that you would grow in God and to a deeper relationship with God, fellowship with God. I'm the pastor's son. I've been here for 34 years, and I have left this church a few times, maybe once, and I've never met another church or another pastor. Let me do that.
Right there, yeah, no worries, no worries. So how has Word of Life Church transformed your life?
Word of Life Church has transformed my life by, number one, it is my father's church, and I've been here most of my life. And it has really given me a strong foundation of the Word of God, trusting in the Word of God. And I've been to a lot of other places, and I'll say this, I've never met another pastor who can go into many different subjects, and even in my own life, challenge me to grow to the depth that I've grown. It's always been a very Jesus on the cross every Sunday, but not actually Jesus in me, and how does that look from my life on what Jesus is doing in me now?
I definitely say that if you want a fired up, spirit-filled community, this is where you want to be.
So this right here is the final image. What do you guys think? Does it look good? I'm honestly very happy with the look of this. And honestly, that just goes to show you, if you light a scene properly on set the first time, when it comes to post-production, you don't really have to do a whole lot of color grading. Just make it look good the first time. Now, let me do a breakdown explaining everything that I did in a more detailed way. So the key light, like I mentioned before, is the aperture 300D, and that was shining at a 45-degree angle on the right side, creating just that soft image that you see on the side of her cheekbone right here. It was about 10%, so it wasn't too bright. But one thing I did notice, when I had the Nan Light 150B splashing against the wall, I purposely set it to more of a tungsten color, because if you guys see all my Talking Head YouTube videos, I really like the tungsten mixed with the daylight color. Just those two colors combined together, it just looks really good. And that's the look that I go for. I try to go for, at least on a lot of my interviews, if I'm allowed to. But the issue with the Nan Light being at 100% blasted against the wall, it was just having too much light, and there wasn't really any shadows on the side of the face. I wanted more contrast. So the best thing I could do was set up some negative fill, but I couldn't get it as close as I want because of the table and the lamp that you see in the image right here. Because it was so close to the person, I wasn't really able to get the negative fill as close as I wanted. So you can tell probably in this shot right here, when they lean back just a little bit, you're not really seeing a whole lot of shadows. But in the first clip that I showed you of the light-skinned kid, you can see when he was leaning forward, there was more shadows on his face. That was initially the look that I was going for, but not everyone wanted to lean forward. I wanted everyone to be as comfortable as possible. And then I had an Amaran 60D just splashing straight up at the roof, causing a little bit of light on his hair. As you can see, it's not doing a whole lot because I didn't have a stand for it. I actually ran out of stands, and I didn't have a C-stand arm either to boom it over. The tube light, you can see right there in the bottom left-hand corner, just adding that pop of light right there, because that corner without that light, it was just too dark. It was like a black abyss, and I didn't like that. I wanted this image to pop. I wanted it to be more colorful. The room itself already was depressing in my opinion, so I just wanted more color and I wanted more pop. And the plant just added that touch, a little bit more pop. Now, if I could get it a little bit more in frame, I could have, but it's all was shot on a 35mm lens. I don't like doing wide shots. All my interviews are either on a 35 or a 50. So this was the closest that I can get the practicals into the shot.
Oh my gosh, Word of Life Church has transformed my life. And I'm not trying to be extreme by saying that. Since I've been here, not only have I been filled with the Spirit, but I've truly learned what it is to walk in the authority that Jesus died for us to have. I've learned about healing. I've learned just so much. And it's truly not just transformed my life, but my family's.
So that's it for the vlog. I didn't get to record an outro because the pastor was talking to me. But someone in the comment section in one of my videos asked me, how do I rig out the FX6 in my Nanook hard case? So I'm just going to show you guys really quick. This is the Nanook 950 hard case that I use sometimes. I'm using it a lot. Like I said, it depends on the production that I'm doing. I'll pull this case out. But it's a mess right now. But this is how I rig out the FX6. You can tell it fits perfectly in here. Pick it up, boom, everything's good. The only thing that I have to take off is the monitor, because the case does not close with the monitor on. But the FX6 fits nice and snug right here. The monitor fits right here. I have a V-mount battery right here. I have another lens. Whenever I get the 50mm lens, that's gonna go right there. I have the 85 right there, 24-70 right there. Then I have a bunch of bags. And if you're a filmmaker and you have a lot of gear, a lot of accessories, you're gonna need these bags. These cheap bags came from Amazon. They were roughly like $10, and they come with 24 packs. I have them labeled XLR cables, cleaning tools, audio gear, etc. But yep, so for that one guy who asked me, how do I set up the FX6, this is how it is set up. So hopefully that can help you out in your question if you want to get a new case like this. Get the 950 though, because the 950 is it fits just perfect. I think anything smaller than 950 is not going to fit the FX6 fully rigged out like this, at least.